welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm here to share with you a tag video. This one was created by Mel Thompson and it is the Truthful YouTuber tag. There are 16 questions, so let's go ahead and just get into them. So the first question is, have you ever received a product, tried it, didn't like it, and then decide not to review it? I think the answer to this, as far as my YouTube channel goes, is no. Off the top of my head, I cannot say for certain. There may have been some products that I have gotten or bought myself or maybe even received that I just didn't really like and just decided not to share, but I cannot think of anything specifically. I do feel like that for my blog, before I started YouTube, I did a blog, and I still have my blog too, but it's not as like well maintained as it was before I started my YouTube channel, and I did a lot more reviews on my blog, and so I do feel like there was probably a couple times where I had received something and maybe didn't really like it, and just decided not to review it. So, you know, the answer is a little bit fuzzy, but I will say this though, that if I am receiving something from a company, and it's expected that I do a review. Basically, I haven't done a ton of sponsored reviews or posts or anything like that, but if I do, I'm gonna be honest. The company knows I'm gonna be honest. I will say what I think, the good, the bad, my experience. I'm never gonna lie to you guys. But I will say, like, you know, on the off chance if I try this and I really don't like this, I will let you guys know ahead of time, and you can choose to let me go ahead and go through with the review, or I will just call it quits and I won't do the review. I won't put the work in to do it, kind of thing. So I mean, I have been known to say that to a company, but off the top of my head, I don't think I've ever actually had that experience where I've had to, like, or felt like I didn't need to review something or anything like that. For the most part, I always try to be very honest with you. Like I said, I haven't taken on a ton of sponsored things, and if I do, you guys know that. I always say it vocally in my videos, but I do receive a lot of PR. I'm on a lot of PR lists, and I am always honest and tell you guys when I like or don't like something. I don't think there's anything wrong with being completely honest. Companies, you know, not everything's gonna work for everybody, and being able to have that feedback and saying, well, you know, this is why I didn't like something. That doesn't mean that everybody's gonna hate it or it's a terrible product. I would never like talk crap about a brand or a product. I like to be very tactful even if I don't like something. So, you know, there is that. And that's kind of rambly, sorry, but I hope that kind of answers that question. All right, the next question is, a product you use alone but don't show or use online. I don't feel like I have a ton of these. I have recently mentioned one item, and it was an eyeliner. It was from Rimmel London, and I did mention that fairly recently, I feel like. But that is one item that I felt like I use all the time. I usually come on camera with it already on when I do tutorials and things like that. I already have eyeliner on. I just never really mention it. It's nothing that I was like trying to like hide or anything. It's just I don't often mention eyeliners I use, and so I don't know, it wasn't on purpose, but I did come on camera and was like, hey, I just realized I never really talked about this, but this is the eyeliner I always use. So it's kind of like that. I don't feel like there's anything, if this is more relating to anything I kind of like hide and don't share, I don't think it's like that. But yeah, I think for the most part you guys know what I use, and I try to use things kind of interchangeably so you guys can see all the different products I have and things like that. But yeah, there's nothing kind of like any secretive products that I can think of off the top of my head. All right, and the third question is, a product you want but won't buy because you don't support the brand. The only brand that really comes to mind that I feel like I don't support, and it's hard, it's like one of those things, it's not like I don't support this brand, but I just don't feel compelled to buy from this brand or support this brand. I'm really torn about it because, like, a big part of me is like, I believe in forgiveness. I believe people can change. I know people make mistakes. There's lots of brands and just people in general who have made some major mistakes this year especially, but just in general over the years. And if I were gonna like not support a brand because of something, like, I feel like I would have to like not support any brand. There would be so many brands I couldn't use. But what does come to mind is products from Jeffree Star. I don't want to go into a big thing about him because like I said, I believe in forgiveness. I believe that people can change. I do feel like he can be a really good person, but I also feel like he can be very mean too. And so I don't know. I don't like that very much. And it's not that I don't support his brand or whatever, but I just don't want to buy from his brand, I guess. I don't want to represent his brand on my channel is the thing. And so because of that, I mean, this question is product you won't buy that you want. And it's not that there's much from his brand that I want, but I do remember when he came out with the, I think it's the blood sugar palette, that was very tempting to me just because I'm really into red shadows. Like those tones are like speak to me. They're my very favorite reds and burgundies and wines. I just think those look the best on like green eyes. And I have hazel eyes, so it makes, you know, those colors really bring out the green in my eyes. And so it was very tempting to me, but I kind of was just like, I couldn't get past like not really wanting to buy Jeffree Star. And I know maybe that seems petty, but I just, yeah, I guess that would be my answer for that question. Next one is, do you have any blocked words? And I'm assuming that's blocked words for comments on YouTube. And I actually do not. Now, I am still a very much so smaller creator, so I don't get a ton of like really negative comments. Believe me, I've gotten some negative comments here and there, but I don't get a ton, enough to have any blocked words here on YouTube. But I do have some blocked words on Instagram because I have a lot more followers and a lot more interaction there, and I tend to get a lot more like spammy comments and then just weird comments. And so I do have some blocked words on Instagram, but not here on YouTube. And so there might be a point where I need to, but right now I don't. If I did need to, it might be like cuss words and things like that, if it's used like very, very negatively, because I like my channel overall to be family friendly, and so I like that to also translate into the comments. I want people coming to my channel, and whether you're watching or reading comments, for it to be clean and stuff like that. But right now I don't, because I haven't experienced anything like that. So question number 5 is, do you delete comments? If so, why? And I don't delete comments. Again, like I said, I haven't had to have anything so aggressive or so mean or so whatever that I felt the need to delete it. If it was really, really aggressively mean to me, or maybe towards somebody else, I might delete it. That would be a reason why. If it was like really bad cussing or putting myself or someone else down, I would probably delete it. That would be a reason why. But right now I don't delete them, even if they're a little bit negative, because for one, I understand this is not okay. This does not mean it's okay for people to be mean and just be keyboard warriors, you know what I mean? But I do understand that like being online and putting myself out there means that I will have some negative things said to me and about me, and I try not to let that like super get to me, because like I understand not everybody's gonna like me, and I don't expect everybody to like me. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and not everybody are my cup of tea, so I get that. Do I think that gives people the right to be mean or hateful towards me? No. But I fully believe in allowing people to express themselves, even if it's a little bit mean. Sorry, I'm like, I can't breathe. I actually, and some people might disagree with it, but I actually always comment back, reply back to someone if they're mean to me. And I don't do it mean. I'm not the type of person who's like gonna say something mean back or be, you know, I don't like to like fight fire with fire, as they say. I just like, I usually reply something back really nice, like, because I don't know, oftentimes someone who comments something mean, they're like going through something, and there's been so many times where I've gotten a mean comment and I'll reply back something nice to them, and they have apologized and said like, I'm so sorry that I said this to you, like I was really in a bad mood and I was just looking to take it out on somebody else. And that is like, oh my gosh, I might even get emotional about that, I don't know. You know, that I feel like that speaks a lot to a lot of these like keyboard warriors. Not everybody's gonna have a remorseful heart like that, but there are times where people just do take things out on other people. Like the saying goes, you know, hurt people, and sometimes showing kindness back to them can kind of change that. And so I like to do that. And now that doesn't always happen, and there will be mean people who say things and I'll say something nice back and then they just ignore it or come back and still say something mean again. And if that's the case, I don't like keep going or anything. But you know, you just never know what kind of impact you could have on people, even if they're mean to you. Like, being kind back to them, I feel like could be such a good thing, can have a good positive rippling effect. So anyways, that was kind of a long rambly rabbit trail just to say that I don't delete comments, but if it gets bad, like I said, for the reasons earlier, I would, but I haven't had to as of yet. And then the next question, number 6, is do you block people? And again, no, I'm very fortunate that at this point in time, I haven't had to deal with anybody crazy enough or mean enough or whatever the case may be enough to feel like I need to block them. Number 7, have you ever lied about a product to stay on good terms with the brand? And the answer to this is also no. And when I was like listening to Mel talk about this or say this question and include it, I just kind of thought, like, I wonder if anybody would even admit to doing, like, if they did that, would they even admit it? Like, of course everybody's gonna say no, they haven't. But the truth really is that I have not ever done that. I don't feel the need to, like, kiss up to a brand. While yes, it's amazing that I'm on several PR lists, and yes, it would be kind of a bummer if I got kicked off a PR list, because I cannot, like, in all honesty, afford to buy all the things that I do receive for free. It is a blessing to me. I am a mom. I have 3 children. You know, my family comes first. This is kind of a hobby for me. It's fun. I love it, but I'm not gonna put all this money into something, you know, first before my family, and I just could not afford it. Anyways, all that to say is, like, while it's a blessing for me to receive that, if a brand wants to kick me off because I've been honest, that is on them. And so I don't feel the need to kiss up to a brand just to stay on PR. But at saying that, like I said earlier, I do always try to stay very tactful when I am negative, because I don't want to be a negative person. I wouldn't sit here and bash a product, but I will be honest and be like, this is not good. I did not like this. For example, like 2 brands that come to my mind that I've given negative reviews, actually 3, well, I'm not on a PR list for the 3rd one, so never mind, I won't say that, but I was gonna say Becca, but I'm not on the PR, is CoverGirl 1. I'm still on their PR list. I've received several things from them, but I've also given several negative reviews on several of their products. Like, I received this huge box, some of you guys might remember, with a ton of CoverGirl stuff, and there was a lot of stuff in there that I really liked. There was a lot of stuff in there that I did not like. But even after doing that video, I mean, maybe they didn't see it, I don't know. Maybe they did. It doesn't really matter to me. Whether I knew they would see it or not, I was not afraid to be honest with you guys and let you guys know. And hey, after saying all that stuff, I'm still on their PR list. So, and I'm not afraid if they do, if maybe they didn't see those videos, but even if they do and they want to take me off, well, it is what it is. Like, I'm going to be honest with you guys 100%. And then Urban Decay is the other brand that I could think of off the top of my head where I have received stuff and I didn't like everything. Yes, I do love Urban Decay for the most part. I love all their products. They're pretty good quality. But I'm not afraid to say when I feel like something is overpriced or doesn't perform well or isn't what I expected. You know, I'm not afraid to tell you guys that. There's no reason why I shouldn't be honest with you guys, because yes, I'm getting this stuff for free, but if you guys are looking to purchase it with your own money, you guys need to know the good, the bad, the ugly, the great, whatever, and I want to give that to you guys. Next question is, have you ever initially liked a product when you reviewed it and then changed your mind about it but didn't let your audience know? Mel had mentioned doing a products I have changed my mind about video, and I have done that as well. It was a collab, if I'm remembering correctly, with Katie Marie here on YouTube. And so yes, that is the case, but I did do a video on it a while back. I guess you could say that yeah, I have let you guys know, but not always right away. And there might be other products too that I've used and liked or maybe disliked initially that maybe I've changed my mind about, but I feel like for the most part I do let you guys know, or you guys might see it in a video and I might update, but I don't know. As far as letting you guys know right away, probably not, but eventually I feel like you guys find out. Alright, number 9. Oh, this one's a little bit, makes me nervous. It says, influencer you don't trust. Now, I want to be very general here because I really don't want to give out names, but I will just say pretty much any influencer, any big influencer, and this is not to say all big influencers are in this category, I'm just saying, but any big influencer who has been involved in any kind of drama this year, pretty much, I don't trust them. And not necessarily because of the drama, it's just because, like, there's just so much, maybe it is the drama, I don't know, there's just so much shadiness that is there, that this is like, I don't really watch them because I trust their opinion. I mostly watch them for entertainment purposes. And actually most of them that are in drama, especially recently, are ones that I didn't even really watch anyways. There's really only one that I could think of that I have watched and actually still watch, that I don't trust. I watch this person for entertainment only, but I actually really don't trust her that much. And the biggest turning point for me was, and I don't want to say who it is just because for one, I don't want to, in case this isn't true, this is just a thought in my opinion. I don't know if this is true or fact, so I don't want to slander anyone based on this experience, but the biggest turning point for me with this specific person is that there was a video that she had uploaded. I feel like it was like a Sephora try-on haul. Like she bought a bunch of new makeup and then did like a full face with it, I think, if I remember. It's been a year or so since this video. But that was the turning point, because she had said she made this big haul at Sephora and bought all these products. But the thing is that a lot of these products, like a good majority of these products, were products that I myself had received in PR, like the exact same products. And to me, she's pretty, has a good amount of money, so she very well could have purchased these items herself. So that's where I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to slander someone and say they didn't really purchase them. I don't know it as fact. But to me, it seemed a little bit shady. It seemed a little bit fishy for her to say that she purchased all these on her own with her own money, when to me, a lot of it seemed like it was PR. And I know that people can mix up PR and sponsorships and equate them to the same thing, and they are very, very different. But I feel like there's nothing wrong with just being honest that you got these items for free. If I get something in PR, I'm pretty sure I always tell you this was a PR item, or I got all this for free. You know what I mean? There's no reason for me to say I bought it with my own money. Why? So you guys can believe my review on it more? I feel like that's so silly. And maybe she's under so much judgment that she felt like she had to say she bought it with her own money. But for those who know, you know, like me, it really like was upsetting, because I think before that point I did really trust her, and I do really like her. But I don't trust her. After that, I just kind of felt like, I don't feel like I could trust her. If she would lie over something that is so silly and doesn't really make that big of a deal to just say you got these in PR, I just feel like at that point I could not trust her anymore. And it's unfortunate, because I don't know, I just feel like, I just feel like you should trust people. And like I said, I feel like you should give people, you know, other chances. And like I said, I do like her. I don't want to talk bad about her. I don't want to slander her or anything like that. She's always seems like she's in trouble and under fire. I think she's a very sweet person, but at the same time, like, that really was a big hit for me. Like, wow, I feel like that stuff is PR. I've gotten those almost exact same items that month. And it just seemed like that's just too much of a coincidence, don't you think? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I really don't trust a lot of big influencers. All right, and then 10 is influencers you trust the most. Like, I feel like I really trust Christy, Raw Beauty Christy. I feel like I trust that girl Shay. I trust, I haven't watched her channel in a long time, but Melissa Alatorre, I feel like I trust her. She does a lot of sponsorships, but she always says when she does, she's pretty honest, and I just really like her style. I think she's very genuine. Jen of Jen Loves Reviews, like, she's obviously a very, very trustworthy person. Mel, obviously, who created this tag, I trust her. There's a lot that I do trust. So it's not like there's so many out there there's untrustworthy. There's a lot of very trustworthy influencers, and I think you just kind of have to decipher which ones are really genuinely people you can trust giving you honest reviews, and which ones are there kind of just really as entertainment kind of a thing. Okay, the next one is kind of interesting. 11, secret tips or product application you don't show while on camera. I would say the biggest thing I really don't show on camera is how much blending. It's not a secret tip, but really for eye looks, for me, there is so much, probably so much more blending involved than I show you. And I feel like I show you guys a lot of the blending, a lot of the process. But I do feel like there is a lot of blending that goes into looks for eyes and even the face that I don't always show because it takes up too much time and no one wants to sit around watching me blend for 5 minutes kind of a thing. So that's something I don't show. It's not necessarily secret, but there are times where I'll go back and blend a little bit more that I don't always show on camera. But I feel like that's a kind of a common thing. 12, have you ever showed one product but were actually using another? I have never done this, I don't think. I mean, not even by accident, I don't think. Only main reason why I've never mixed up anything is because I only have a small space right here and I have a tiny little table that sits next to me when I film, especially a makeup tutorial, and literally only the products I use are sitting there. Everything else is on my dresser way over this way, and I'd have to get up to go get it, and I don't always do that. So yeah, everything that I show you I put right on the camera and then like put on my face, or I'll do my face and then show it afterwards, or whatever, however I decide to film. But pretty much no, I've never accidentally done that or even on purpose done that. It'd be so weird. 13, have you ever not disclosed a sponsorship? No, never. I would never do this. For one, I'm too afraid to get in trouble but from the FTC or whatever that might be. For two, I don't do a ton of sponsorships. I haven't actually had a sponsorship in so long. It would be nice to be paid at some point, but no. And three, I'm usually pretty proud of getting a sponsorship. If a brand wants to pay me, especially if it's a brand that I really like or whatever the case may be, I'm excited to share with you guys, like, this video is sponsored like by this brand, and I just feel like it's fair to you guys to know, like, I'm being sponsored, you know, and let you guys know. So like, I would never not disclose. I'm too afraid of getting in trouble. So, but also aside from that, like, I would never want to like ruin the trust that we have. 14, have you ever had a bad interaction with a brand? And yes, I have had a pretty bad interaction. Basically, this brand reached out to me about for a sponsorship, so it was a paid promotion. The unfortunate thing is that the payment was minuscule. Like, literally, my best judgment would have said, don't take that kind of money. If they're going to pay you, they should pay you right. This literally was like pennies compared to the amount of time that I put into the work for this project. But the only reason I agreed to it was not necessarily for the money. It was because it was a product that I was genuinely interested in trying, and I really was curious about it, and genuinely wanted to try it and see if it worked. So it's kind of like I would have taken the product alone anyways if there were no requirements kind of a thing. Like, I would have taken it to review it anyways for free kind of a thing, but they were offering to pay me, so it was kind of a bonus, and I was like, sure, great. The thing was, and why I also agreed to such a small amount, was because there was literally, they only had one stipulation, was that they wanted 3 posts. That was it. Other than that, there was no requirements, no nothing. They just said, can you do 3 posts on this and we will pay you this amount. So it was for Instagram. And I thought, sure, I could do 3 posts. I want to try this anyways. Super into it. They're going to give me a little, like pennies basically, but a little bit of money. Getting paid is exciting anyways. Silly of me. After they sent me the money, they did send me the money first, and then they sent me the product at the same time. So the day that I received the package, I actually got an email from the company that same day. And that's when things started getting really weird. So they emailed me and said, it looks like you received your package today. You need to have a post up by between 3 and 4 today. Here's what I want it to say, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what? Like, what? I was so confused. I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. I literally just got the product and you expect me to have a post up that same day. No. For one, I like to put a lot of time and thought, effort into my posts. I try to take good quality photos, videos, whatever I'm doing. I want it to be good quality and not something that I just freaking throw up like nothing with no thought. And also not even having tried the product at least. Like, no. And I just said, I was kind of like, well, I just got the product and there's really no way I'm able to get a post up today. And also I don't really like, you know, the wording you're giving me. I like to be very genuine and honest with my audience. I don't, you know, feel comfortable just putting in what you guys are telling me to write. And I said, additionally, you know, I didn't agree to this. Like, you guys originally reached out to me and said, you know, 3 easy posts. You didn't have any requirements or anything like that for me when I agreed to this, so I don't really feel comfortable with you telling me what to do, kind of a thing. And that kind of didn't really go over well. They ended up supposedly switching me to somebody else, because I kind of I tried to be very tactful and kind, but I was a little bit you know, assertive. I wanted to be assertive with myself and say like, hey, this isn't what we agreed to, this is what you told me, and this is what I agreed to. So they gave me somebody else. So somebody else took over emailing me, another person, and was like, oh, sorry you're having issues with such and such, I'm going to be, you know, communicating with you now. And she had said, well, you know, just so you know, we did send along an email with guidelines about what you're supposed to do, and so, you know, please refer to that, and da-da-da. And I said, well, you know what, though, you sent that after I had agreed to do this. I didn't agree to that initially. If you would have sent that first, I would not have agreed to this, because for one, you're not paying me enough to do all those things, and that's just not something I would agree to. So, you know, I'm not going to do that. I said, I will still go ahead and post, but I'm going to post in my own time. And I would like to actually give the product a try, and I would like to post in my own words. And so they were kind of a little bit okay about it. They're like, okay, well, can you post, you know, fairly soon, but can you please try to keep it between 3 and 4? Anyways, there were some things we kind of like agreed upon a middle ground a little bit, and so I was like, okay, this is kind of frustrating, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go through with it. I'm still excited to try the product, kind of thing. So I ended up putting up my first post, which is just kind of, I think it was like me holding the product and just saying, like, telling a little bit about the product and that I was going to be trying the product, kind of a thing. And was just like, okay, there it is. There's my first post, got it out of the way. I want to give this product a good try, at least a couple weeks, maybe a month or whatever, because we didn't have a guideline of how long they would let me, you know, do it before. They said, you know, 3 posts or whatever. So anyways, that goes on. Then a couple days later, I get an email asking me about when I will put up my second post and if I can put up a before and after. Now, this is a product that requires some time of use for you to be able to see a difference. And so I was kind of confused by that, because I literally had only had the product less than a week, and they were already wanting me to like hurry up and post my before and after photo, and they all again gave me like a paragraph to share and blah 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 and what I should say and about my results, and I just thought like, I was like, and I kind of was a little bit passive aggressive by this point. I was kind of like, you know, I really don't think that that would be a good idea, because I'm not going to be able to, you know, have a good like after photo, results photo, because I've been using this product for less than a week at this point. I'm really not sure how well the after photo will look, but this is where I kind of got passive aggressive. I was like, but you guys know your product really well. If you think I'll have good results with less than a week of using it, then I'll go ahead and I'll share a before and after picture if that's what you guys want. Kind of a thing, because I knew like they wouldn't be good at before and after. It would be silly for me to do before and after using it less than a week. And I think they got that message. They're like, oh, no, you're right. Go ahead and wait on the before and after. Because I told them, I was like, what I was thinking about doing was doing a demo video showing the product in action, and I'll do a video. And I think that'll be a lot more beneficial. Videos are doing really well on Instagram, kind of a thing. Anyway, so she was like, go ahead and go and do that. Please post, you know, between 3 and 4 kind of a thing, and kind of gave me these like guidelines that I was like really kind of irritated to even have to stick to. I didn't even have to because I didn't agree to them, but I was trying to work with them and trying to be nice, and so I did kind of stick to them. I said my own things, so I did not use their script because that ticked me off. Anyways, but I was trying to be as agreeable as I could and follow their guidelines while also being true to myself and being, you know, assertive in a way to let them know, like, I'm gonna do this how I see fit for my audience and my page, kind of a thing. So moving on to, I get around to thinking about the third post. The third post is supposed to be a before and after, and I believe at this point there was again another email about me that like kind of wanted me to rush my before and after, and there was some back and forth about, you know, some things between us, and it just was like getting really frustrating. I was really getting ticked off with the way they were kind of treating me and talking down to me. They said a lot of things about like just, I don't want to go into it because this is going to be crazy long as it is already, but pretty much really talking down to me, making me feel really bad about myself, feel like I was obligated to them because they paid me or whatever, even though we did not agree on this beforehand. They kind of sprung this on me after, which I don't think is right. Like I didn't even sign a contract. Just so you guys know, I didn't say this ahead of time. There was no contract signed. So I didn't like have an agreement that I was going to do all these things when they paid me. It was just literally that first email, we agreed to that, and then later came all this other stuff. So it's not like I was under a contract or agreement or anything, but they still kept kind of pressuring me into wanting to do things their way, and really kind of doing that, like putting me down too about my audience size, and I wasn't a big influencer, so they couldn't blah blah blah. Just stuff that was just really kind of getting on my nerves, and asking a lot more of me than we originally agreed upon. And just really trying to push the envelope with me, and just squeeze everything they could from me. And it was enough. I was like so ticked off, and ready to be done with this brand. But I will say that I ended up liking the product. It did end up working. So I was trying to like kind of really work with them, even though I felt like they were a jerk company that I really did not want to support or even have on my channel. But I just thought, I'm just gonna get through this. We're gonna get through these posts and it'll be done with. Like, at least the product is actually good. The brand is just, the people behind the brand are just, not nice. Let's just say that. So anyways, we get to the time for me to post my third. It's gonna be a before and after. And apparently they had sent me some guidelines of how they wanted the before and after, which I kind of just never really, I didn't even look at it because I was like, no, I don't have to do this. I think that was kind of just me being stubborn. I was like, I told you guys what I would post, what we agreed upon. I don't need to follow their stipulations and their like strict whatevers. So anyways, I did for the most part, like, everything that I can do to try to meet middle ground with them. Posted my before and after, and I get an email from them saying that they didn't like the photo I shared because it didn't show their product specifically in the before and after. But the way I took my before and after pictures was just like, you couldn't really include the product in there because it really needed to be up close to something to really demonstrate the before and after. And so I didn't show the product because like, it just wasn't necessary in my opinion. But apparently that was one of their guidelines, that the product had to be showing. So they said that my post, my third and final post, did not count, that I need to repost again and this time do a new picture showing the product. And like all these other guidelines, and they kind of were like getting mad at me, like, we sent you the guidelines on what you were supposed to do, you had everything there, why you didn't do it is really your fault, so you do need to repost, and if you don't, then you need to refund us a third of what they paid me. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that, and I don't owe that to you, because I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to all that stuff. I didn't agree to the extra stuff. I agreed initially to 3 posts, easy posts that I could do whatever I want with, and that's it. And we kind of went back and forth a few emails. Then they again transferred me to somebody else within the company saying, I'm going to take over this now and talk to you and blah, 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 and really try to coerce me into reposting again. And I was like, you know what, no. By that point, there was a lot more that kind of went into it, and I'm kind of skipping around and missing. But anyways, by that point, I was like, I was so done with them and everything they were telling me and making me feel, that I was just like, this is not worth it. I am not going to post again. And I just said, I'm going to refund you all of the money that you gave me, and I'm going to be removing all of my posts on Instagram. I'm done with you guys. I'm not doing that. And they said, well, if this is the way you want it to be, we really would like to work things out, and all you really have to do is refund the last third of the money if you're not going to do that last post correctly, blah, 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 blah. And I just was like, I'm done. I refunded their money. I showed them a receipt of it. And I was like, I'm done. Please don't contact me again. And that's my bad experience with them. Funny enough is that actually recently, because this was, I think, like back in the summer maybe, but just a couple months ago, I received a new email from this company saying, hey, I'm just following up on such and such, the last person who emailed me. It shows that you didn't complete your campaign with us, or whatever it was, however they worded it, and I just want to see how we can go along finishing this. And I just rolled my eyes so stinking hard and just ignored the email, because clearly they did not, like, there's no communication within that company. Like, I'm like, I just wanted to, really, did you look back on some of the emails? Like, this transaction is over, we're done with, we're not doing this. Like, why are they still trying to contact me about doing stuff when I refunded their money? And like, it's just mind-blowing. Also, because I kept going back to referring to the first email and the first person who emailed me about what they had said originally was required of me, not required, but the 3 posts was, and that was it. They said, well, that person was in the wrong for saying that. That's not typically what we do, and because he sent you the guidelines after, that was his fault. Like, he's actually fired, because that's not typically what we do. We let you guys know ahead of time. And I just thought, like, really? The funny thing was that I reached out to an influencer group that I'm in, Ipsios, to see if anybody else had worked with this brand and their experience. They said they had the exact same experience, where it was like a bait and switch. Basically, they said one thing after they paid you and sent the product, then it was a list of guidelines later. So this is a common practice they do. It's not something that was a mistake by another employee that is now fired. Like, that's what they do, and it's not okay. And so, yeah, I've had some issues with the brand, and I know that was really long. A little bit of tea there for you guys. Part of me wants to tell you what the brand is, but a big part of me also just doesn't, because I don't know if that's worth it or not. I really don't know, but I will never mention that brand again. I will never support that brand. I know this is actually a brand, I don't think it's a super popular brand, but it's a brand that I know, like, Tati has talked about and really likes. And when I saw that in one of her videos, I was like, no, don't promote that brand. It's a terrible brand. They're mean. But anyways, I never said what brand it is, and I don't think I will, but I just, yeah, it was a really bad interaction, and it really left a bad taste in my mouth. So let's move on. There's 2 more questions I want to try to get through real quick. Number 15, have you ever bandwagoned with other people's thoughts on a particular product? I'm going to keep that short and simple. The answer is no. I feel like oftentimes I usually have a kind of a different thought on products than most people do. I almost pride myself on being different from other people. Like, I don't know, like, oh, you think this is great? No, I'm going to tell you why it sucks. No, I'm just kidding. I don't get like that. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I almost can pride myself on not bandwagoning, let's just say. And then 16, things other creators do that get on your nerves. Okay, it's super funny actually that this is a question in this tag, because I actually have, which might seem so petty, but I actually have a list in my phone and my notes of things that I hate that YouTubers do. And the reason why I have that is because I thought it might be an interesting video, but I have not been brave enough to film that or put it up, because I just didn't want to get a lot of like hate or people calling me petty or anything like that. It's really mostly meant to be kind of funny, because some of the things are things that I do too, but then there's also some things that are a little bit more like really annoying, you know, kind of a thing. And I just thought it might be a funny video, but also I'm not sure how well it would be received on my channel, because I do like to be more positive, and I feel like some of the videos I've done where I've been a little bit more feisty have been like some people actually love it. Some people are like, oh my gosh, yes, I love Feisty Maria. But other people are like, you're so negative. And it's like, I'm not trying to be negative. It's just that like, these are things, I don't know. I don't know if people like understand like my sense of humor. I don't know. So I don't know if it'd be well received, but if you would actually like to see that video, because I have a list, I do, and thoughts and things that I would like to share. If you would like to see that video, let me know. I will film that video if I get enough people saying they want to see it. And by enough people, I don't know how much that means. I would like to know if there's actually interest. But I will say, a couple things that I don't like is when someone is looking at the viewfinder, like the whole time if I was talking like this to myself instead of talking to the camera, that kind of bugs me because I'm like, I just want to be like, I get it, yeah, you want to see yourself, you want to talk to somebody, and it can be hard to just stare at a lens. For me, even sometimes it's like can be hard, and I do stare at the viewfinder every once in a while, but that annoys me so much to watch a whole video of someone looking at somebody else. It just feels really weird and unpersonal, if that makes sense. So that's one of them. One other thing I had mentioned that I said this in a makeup group that I'm in, that Katie Marie here on YouTube is also in, and I think it like stuck with her because for a long time after that, whenever she said this, she would kind of pause, and I think I even told her, I was like, were you thinking of me when you said that? And she was like, yes. Anyways, one of the things it's like a weird pet peeve is like when people say down below, like leave a comment down below. For some reason that's like a pet peeve of mine. I don't like it because it's like, we all know the comments are down below. We know they're there. You don't have to say down below. Like, just leave a comment. You don't have to say, leave a comment down below. But for some reason, I think we're so used to hearing it. We're kind of accustomed to saying it. It just naturally comes out. Even sometimes I will say down below. And oftentimes we'll just edit that out if I do say it. But it is a habit. And I told her, and I told everybody in that group, because it was someone had asked what people don't like or whatever, and so that was my answer. The reason why I don't like that, and I try not to say that, is because way back in the day, on YouTube, the comments actually, if anybody remembers this, if you're old enough, but like 10 or so years ago, comments didn't actually used to be down below. They used to be on the side. I feel like the right side of the screen, comments in the description box, I think even, was to the right of the screen. And so people would be like, leave a comment on the side, or like, check out the sidebar, or whatever it was. And it's like, so, you know, when YouTube changes layout, that's going to seem like really weird. If you're saying down below and then YouTube wants to change it back to the side, which they probably won't, but I'm just saying things like that just seems like, I try to avoid saying that because I know some people would be like, leave a comment on the side, you know, and it makes me think of that, and I think it's like not relevant anymore to do that. So just say leave a comment. You don't have to say down below, it's okay. So that's just like a silly one. There are other ones that I could totally go into, but like I said, that might defeat my list in that future video if I film it. So if you want to hear more of what I don't like YouTubers that I don't like that YouTubers do, let me know. I am willing, kind of, to share. But with all that being said, that was the last question. I really hope you enjoyed hearing my truthful answers to this tag. Big thanks to Mel for creating this tag. It was so unique, I thought, and very, very interesting. I definitely enjoyed sharing and kind of delving into some things that I haven't really talked about before. And I hope you guys enjoyed learning a few things too. So with all that being said, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes. Mwah!